Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, survivors. This is ViciousTech here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be outside of GCM mode, just hanging out in my tech suit, building a turret tower for you guys, and it's not really going to have many cuts, so you're going to see the full process from start to finish. Are you ready? Let's go. I've already got pretty much all of my stuff crafted, ready to rock and roll. I just got to put it down in my hotbar. I like to start out with the foundations, then the pillars, the vaults, ceilings, and then the hatch frames. That's going to be mostly what I'll be using for right now. I don't need to put a tech generator in there just because I'll be only placing one of them really. So, that being said, let's get started. We're going to be doing a 3x3 turret tower today. Just a basic one to start with. And then in another video, I will show you guys how to upgrade it. And do the little 3x3 just like this right here. See that? Nice and pretty. Nice and simple. Alright. I'm going to place that. Throw our element in it, turn it on, and set it up to the max level. That way, if there's any other towers, turrets on the ground, it will help provide power to those as well. Next up, we're going to place our foundation right in the middle. And one thing I like to do is start on one side, and I need to go up 10 high with the pillars. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. And we're going to do that to all four corners of the 3x3. There we go. We got our pillars up. 3x3, and we're going 10 high with the pillars. And then next up is going to be placing the vaults. Now this can be a little tricky just because sometimes they don't want to snap right on the outside to where you got to go on the inside. So this is where I like to play around with things a little bit with how I like to place them. Right now it's acting really, really wonky. Let's try and get it to snap. Usually it doesn't give me this type of problems, but you want to try and get the vault right in the middle of the pillar, and then you want it just above where the pillar ends. That way it protects the ceiling a little bit. Just trying to get it to snap just right is sometimes a struggle. There we go. Now we know that one you can snap on the outside. Let's see if this one will snap on the outside as well. Nope. See, that's where I like to figure out where they'll snap, whether it's on the inside or outside first before I do anything. See, that way I'm not running into other vaults when I'm trying to place on the inside. There we go. That's on the inside, so I have to be on the inside of the pillars to snap the vaults there. I can be on the outside of that one, and this one I hopefully will be able to be on the outside, but probably not. Try this side. Yep, this one I am going to have to be on the inside. So we're going to do the ones where you have to be on the inside first. There we go. Am I up above? Yep, I should be up far enough to where we're good there. Alright. We're just going to pretty much try to snap, and I have another video that I'll link at the end. Different ways that you can actually snap the bolts to the pillars. Come on. Doing this outside of GCM mode is a struggle sometimes, but since I'm wanting to get back into PvP, I am trying to practice a little bit more. Up, you're up just to here. I don't like that. Just gotta pick you up real quick. The very bottom ones you need to actually place directly on the foundation, otherwise they'll hover a little bit more than what I normally like that. Let's pick that back up again. There we go. Now it's straight down on the ground. Look at that. That looks so pretty. Alright. Next up is going to be the other one that snapped on the inside. This is where we have issues sometimes. Let's see. Oh, it's going to keep doing that. There we go. And now you can easily do the ones where you can snap them on the outside. Let's take care of that real quick. Up, here we go again. It's wanting to be complicated. Extra. Now to the last one. Let's snap the bolts to this guy. This is actually a nifty trick that my old tri-mate showed me to a quick and easy way to vault drop a tower. That way you don't leave the entire tower exposed when they take out one of the vaults, because if they take out one of the vaults down at the bottom in the traditional way, all the vaults fall down, and then guess what? The rest of the pillar is just left exposed. Can't have that. It's not the prettiest, but it will do. Next up is going to be placing our ceilings, and I like to start at the top and work my way down. Normally I like to try and get the vaults a little bit higher than what it is on these three, but I guess it'll have to do for right now. We're going to go down every two. Leave the bottom one open. That's one of the nifty things about doing just a simple little 3x3s. You do a lot of stuff just standing in one spot. Bam, there we go. Now, one thing you can do, and I think I am going to do on this one, I'm going to do some tech jump pads. There we go. Oh crap, I'm not in GCM mode. We'll have to do those later. Alright, now that we have the tower up, we're going to go ahead and do the vault drop process. Whoop, there we go. And this just helps add a little bit of extra, you know, protection for the foundation that the tower itself is sitting on. I'm going to drop these vaults directly down, and they'll guard the foundations themselves. You want to make sure that you don't put them too far over the foundations, because if you do, then they won't drop down like they're supposed to. And get that one, last one to snap in there. It is really nice having structure collision off. And ideally, all of the vaults will drop down. They won't be standing on top of each other or on top of the foundations. Out frickin' standing. That is just the way that I like it. One of the things I like to do is I will go back through and drop all the foundations. I did miss a little gap right there. Don't do that when you're normally building your tower. Not like it really matters, just because it's not going to do anything, but still. If you also wanted to stack multiple vaults on top of each other, you could. It just adds a little bit more of a layer of FU when it comes to people trying to raid your base. And I really, really hate placing foundations after the pillars have been placed, because they won't be leveled. But we're good. They're all gonna serve their own purpose. And next up is going to be placing our vaults on the inside. We're gonna fill this up nice and good, because that's just going to add another little layer of protection for the pillars, as well as the foundations that the pillars are sitting on. Really no method to this madness besides, you know, just filling it in. Come on. Can I place another one inside? No? Okay. I keep wanting to try and snap the foundations outside, or at least land on them, which is fine, but just kind of annoying. Come on. I'm gonna go back inside. It's just easier this way. One thing you gotta worry about is that you don't trap yourself in here. You want to make sure that you leave the middle open. Then I like to stack as many as possible on top of the vault itself, or the generator itself. Just on this build, I used 100 vaults. You can always use more if you want, but purposes of this video, we're not going to do that. Next up is going to be placing our hatch frames. You want to stick them right on the edge. And you make sure that they are snapped directly to the ceilings, not to each other, because you don't want them to fall when they take out the hatch frames. You want to have them fall when they take out the hatch frame itself or the ceiling that it's attached to. But you don't want to run the risk of taking out them taking out one hatch frame and then it takes out like two of them that are snapped to it instead of the ceiling like it should be. And this is going to be a little bit of a struggle bus here, because it keeps wanting to snap to the other hatch frames. Can't have that. Ah, that's ugly. Must have all hatch frames lining up, otherwise they look ugly. I also like to double up my hatch frames kind of like this, that way I can place the turrets. I like to place my turret kind of like in the middle. Some people will place them right on these, but I've stopped doing that. I found that when you place them right in the middle, they can actually shoot behind a lot easier and they're not being blocked by that right there. So from now on, most of my videos are going to be having them placed right in the middle of each of the rungs themselves. I know some people were like, oh, your builds aren't as elaborate and such. Well, I don't like to have super elaborate builds. I want to have a build that I can pop up in 15-20 minutes, reinforce it really good, and then start on the next tower. When you have like complicated like vault dropping, having like 4 or 5 layers, stuff like that, it's really not going to matter, just because they're going to be able to take it all out eventually anyway. The whole point of building a turret tower is, or having turret towers, or to set it up to where your base is defended while you're offline. And it can hold or slow down the enemy long enough for you or another tribe mate to get on and start mounting an actual defense. Because I don't care what anybody says, no base is unraidable. Actually, let me rephrase that. Almost no base is unraidable. Some clusters don't have rules when it comes to spam and stuff, and then the defending tribe can just place so much spam that if anybody is on console, whether and just not be able to play it or raid it just because there's so much crap there, or if somebody has a not so strong PC, they can't render everything in and they crash, lose their character and stuff like that. And then that's usually when the cluster admins have to step in, like, hey, spam is not, well, spam is technically a legit defense, but when it gets to the point that even the admins can't be there because of how much crap they got down, some of that's got to go. Creates an unfair advantage where people with better computers and such have an advantage over those with a budget computer or a console. And I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but things need to be much more friendly between consoles and PCs. Oh, that didn't turn out right at all. Let's pick that one up too. So one part I hate about building turret towers is trying to place the hatch frames just right. Because a lot of times they don't like to cooperate. They like to be like my dog, complicated, a pain in the butt, and just overall difficult. And we got one more layer to go, which is kind of nice. Yeah, you snapped way to the wrong spot, my guy. There I go. Did it again. Definitely like building with my 360 controller, or not 360, my Xbox One controller over this, just because my fingers start to cramp up when I'm building on PC. So a lot of times when I'm building turret towers and stuff, I like to just break out the controller, especially if I'm filling turrets the old school way, because with the controller I can set the auto hover type deal, and it just makes filling turrets so much easier. Alright, we got our friggin' hatch frame set up, which is kind of nice. About bloody time. It only took us probably 10 minutes almost. And now we're gonna put our turrets up. Let's get rid of these off the hotbar. Usually the last thing that I'll place is going to be the ammo box, but we're going to go ahead and do that right now. I like to put it on the lower level, that way it's easier to get to. And right in the middle. A lot of times this will cover the entire turret tower and then some, which kind of helps when you have ground turrets around the turret tower itself. And I like to start at the bottom and work my way up. If they want to snap to where they're supposed to, like they should. I like to have doing every other type deal. That way the tech turrets are spread out from the other tech turrets, which means that they are less likely to get like 2 or 3 tech turrets at a time when they're trying to tech stuff out with the Rex or the Tappy. Are you gonna snap? Here, they just want to be complicated, don't they? There we go. Trying to do everything from the tower itself to make things easier, and the tower's like, no, we're not going to do that. Well, too bad. Now the next layer is going to be the opposite. We're going to start out with tech turrets. I also usually don't care about how the turret's facing just because it's going to automatically turn anyway. So if it's like off-centered a little bit, I know it's going to drive some people with OCD crazy, but I'm sorry. When you're building turret towers, you want to get up as many turret towers as fast as you can possibly fill with bullets. When you let little things catch you up, that's slowing you down, which is screwing up your defenses. Because the more turret towers you can get up, the faster, the safer you are from getting raided. There's one time I actually had all my turrets on a wall facing in. Just because it was a turret wall. Death wall type deal. And I did not feel like going behind or snapping turrets and then making them turn and stuff like that. I wanted to get up as fast as possible because we were on a different server than what our home map was. Ooh. That kind of angered some of my tribe mates where they actually went through and fixed it for me. Wouldn't have hurt anything. The turret still would have turned around and fired at everything. And then I think the top layer is all that's left after this one. Out frickin' standing. One of the great things about... Also, the great thing is I could just place these, and with the new updates and stuff, I can just turn on all the turrets at once after I set them, and then I can fill them all from the ammo box, which makes things so much easier than what it used to be. Alright, with the top of the turret towers, I like to actually just use nothing but heavy turrets. And the reason I like to do that is one of the main ways that my tribe and other tribes like to take out the top layer of turrets is usually with a tech tappy. Well, heavy turrets cannot be destroyed by tappy. They have to actually take out the hatch frames, which means that they're going to have... I hate this game sometimes. Snap to... Bruh. There we go. About bloody time. I'm gonna have to go down there and pick that up because it's gonna irritate me. Turrets inside of turrets do not like to fire. Just a heads up. I learned that the hard way one day. There we go. Let's go take care of this real quick though. Can I get just to the heavies? Oop, falling. Nope, we gotta pick them all up because... Oh, wait, maybe? Oh, there we go. Well, crap. That's an easy fix at least. Boom, there we go. And this is one update that I love, is the fact that I can just do this. I don't have to go through all the turrets like you used to have to. Turn it on, set them all to high, copy settings. Boom, all the turrets are now on. Look at that. Look at that. That is freaking outstanding. And then as I fill the ammo box, you'll see the auto reload attempts, and it will try and pull them from the in the box, which makes things so much easier. Look at that. Nice little tower. And it took what? Let's see, 30 minutes from start to finish, approximately. There's some upgrades that I could do if I wanted to, but that's going to be for a different video. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, smash that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications. That way you get alerted next time I go live or I post another video. Until then, have fun, and as always, happy arcing.